Welcome back to Military Makeover Operation Career. I'm joined today in studio by Mr. Mike Jennings, who's the CEO and founder of Absolutely American. Their mission is connecting private and government employers with skilled veterans who are seeking employment. And thanks so much for being here, sir.
Well, thank you for having me.
Really, absolutely. You know, Mike, you and I are both veterans, and we served our country, and then we had a relatively seamless transition into civilian life. But a lot of our veterans don't find this transition as seamless. Why is that?
Well, I'll tell you, a big part of that is the language barrier. Military veterans, most of us, we come into the service right out of high school or very quickly thereafter. We come into a military environment where we speak a language all our own with full of government acronyms and slang. We learn a certain type of business that isn't necessarily done outside of the military itself. So when it comes time to make that transition, trying to understand for them what it is that they've done while they were serving and applying that to a civilian occupation is really difficult. The other part of this, I guess, is expectations. I've found that military veterans do extremely well whenever it is that they know what it is that's expected of them. And the military makes it clear what those expectations are, but as they go to make their civilian transition, those expectations are not as clear. The next part of that is the environment itself and what it is what they're about to encounter. So if you think about whenever it is that we get ready to go downrange in military operation, there's always a degree of intel that goes in front of us with this, and we seek in-country guides to do that. So we've oftentimes found that the military veteran is more inclined to be okay with taking that hill than they are with going out there and finding that job.
So Mike, now tell us how Absolutely American works.
When we first started the company, our focus was really simple, which was treat everybody the way it is that we would want to be treated and do our very best work, which means always trying to improve and continuing to get better. And one of the things it is that we're most proud of that has come from that is not only the life-changing transitions that we've been able to facilitate with the people that we've worked with, but also the commitment it is that we have made in building our company from the ground up to deliver return on investments to the people who use our services. And we have been so serious about this that 2018 was our best year. And literally at the end of that year, we were not satisfied with the level of service. So literally dumped the entire company out on the floor and rebuilt it from the ground up to make sure that we could look at an employer and be confident in saying that not only are you going to get service from us, but you're going to get results that last.
That's so great. And how do you help transitioning veterans connect with corporate employers?
Certainly it starts with the individuals coming to us and registering with us and making themselves known. And from there, it really goes into diving deep on value systems. Before you can make a military transition, you really need to understand what it is that's really important to you. And we spend a lot of time working with people trying to uncover those value systems that they want to align and then prioritizing them. And then from there, to figure out the kinds of roles it is that they want, it really starts with whatever functional duty they were doing in the military and that part of the job that they have. What is it that they want to do more of that they were currently doing? What do they want to do less of that they were doing? And what would they like to add to their job that isn't too much of a leap from where it is that they are right now?
A lot of them don't understand that a job in the military is equivalent in some ways in the civilian world to maybe 5, 6, 7 other verticals, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I would argue even more than that, because with that comes a lot of opportunity.
And they need to understand these opportunities in everything from construction to engineering to you name it, right?
Law enforcement, logistics, there's all kinds of places that those types of functional duties can fit.
Let's break it down and tell them how it really works.
When it comes down to it is that most people come in contact with us, come to us through our events, registering for one of our job fairs, or coming to us as part of our online job board and resume service. And from that point, we work the process of matching them with the employers who are attending our events, or they can apply to jobs that are on that site. We have a military skills translator, and our military transition guide helps people tremendously with this process. And then on the other bookend of this is our Absolutely American services that are a lot more in depth for individuals who are coming from the technical engineering and more the management backgrounds.
And businesses across this country need to understand that they are going to truly benefit by hiring a veteran, right?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if there is no benefit, this is a charity. And America is not built on supporting charitable work. So the value of a veteran has been very well well established. We see people who have the ability to learn training very quickly, apply it to a job, and then be able to extend that to other duties. And then they go and they do this work in some of the most difficult environments on the planet. And all of the while doing it in service to the country, maintaining a great attitude, good order, and discipline.
And also making sure that they can survive.
That's right, that's a fact.
And now you have a podcast, right?
Yes, we do.
Tell me a little bit about the podcast, come on.
It's called the Military Minute, militaryminute.us, and it's a podcast that's designed to be short and brief, but informational to support not only the transition process, but the long-term career success of the military member. Our objective is to not just make the transition. The transition itself is just the first step in the career, and there's many other after that. But most of us veterans tend to identify ourselves as veterans first before it is that we do anything else.
And now you also have a book, right?
We do. It's actually just been released, and it's an all-new approach to looking at the military to civilian transition. And what we've tried to do in the book is really help the military veteran understand what it is that they're going to be facing and how to plan for it properly. Because it's always been my philosophy that the military veteran will know what to do if they can understand what's expected. So we're trying to give them a view of what this process looks like and help them work their way through it and be able to absorb this in a very easy to read manner.
You know, when you think back on everything that you've done so far, what's been one of the most rewarding things that you or maybe some of your employees have gone through or helped with?
Well, certainly you can look at any number of the cases where there was a particular hardship with the individual, and we have a countless number of those. But one of the ones that I will say that has been most impactful to me recently has been actually working with companies and helping to change their trajectory, not only through the work it is that we do with connecting them with military veterans, but also in the way it is that through our experience and our expertise, we've been able to help them, to coach them to be better in their recruiting, better in their onboarding and their value propositions, and even setting up some of their organization better in order to help their business succeed. And that's been great.
Where can vets go if they want to get started?
AbsolutelyAmerican.com or corporategray.com.
Thank you so much, Mike, for being here, sir.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And okay, we'll be back right after this. And of course, if you want more information, you can always go to our website. Thank you, sir.